And welcome to the AEW Dynamite review. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review AEW Dynamite, but also AEW Collision, Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett this week to review last night's AEW Dynamite, the go-home show ahead of Wrestle Dream.
Yeah. I'm not saying it'll ever happen in 1 million years, and I'm not suggesting that it would be forever, but they need to get the book off Tony Khan now. I'm sick of it. This show was so bleak, flat, uninspiring, and 2019, amazing. I can't believe this unicorn pipe dream of a promotion is actually real. 2020, oh my God. We've got over that sort of uneven growing pains era after Full Gear, and then the pandemic's awful for significantly more important reasons. But my God, how are they doing this? How are they producing this against this backdrop? It's unbelievable. 2021 is kind of like a dreamland. Punk, Danielson, crowds back, creative out the ass, 2022 is disastrous in a way that we only sort of reckon with across 2023 and 2024. But across 2023, you're at least enjoying the sort of idea of, God, they've systemically botched AEW as an idea with the mishandling of the CM Punk situation and But at least you're thinking, well, it's all a cycle. If the more we sort of bury this, or the listening company will listen to this, it's and you've completely botched it, right? The more that was sort of reaching a point of no return, it was this inexorable decline. It's oh God, the closer this comes to full collapse, at least the changes will come. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying it's never been worse. Late 2023 was worse than this. Late 2023, autumn 2023 was worse than what it is right now. But at least then you're holding on to the idea of cycles, boom, bust. It has to get bad before it gets better. And I don't know what this is now, but it's the least inspired I've ever felt.
I felt really sorry.
It is the least inspired I've ever felt. And the worst thing is that there are a base that are happy with it. There are people who don't necessarily think it's the way to go. Sorry. But the bit we're in now is just is it forever this? Is it forever this? There is a way they do things. There is a base that seems happy enough. It's broadly, I know it's been really flat and bleak the last 2 weeks, but beyond that, there's a way and a pattern that some people are happy with, and Khan seems happy with it, and no one can be asked to talk about it. I'm at the is this it stage.
I know we have fun with me, pro NXT, anti-AW gimmick and what have you, but I watched this show this morning, and I was just sat there, arms folded, going, now, is this just me? Is this just me being a grump? Have I woken up on the wrong side of bed or whatever? Am I just sort of, yes, it's where the best wrestle, great wrestling matches.
No.
But, you know what I mean?
On pay-per-view, yes. Yeah, on TV, this stuff is no longer existing, really.
So I go online, which is always risky, to see your takes, and the first one I see is Matt Reigns.
Yeah, I saw this, and he's right.
And he'd written a really, really good, a notes thing about it. And I thought he hit the nail on the head when he said the sort of creative fire has gone out.
That's just, I don't know, it's so uninspired. It is so uninspired. I'm not being facetious either, and it doesn't matter. It ain't going to happen. Tony Khan is not going to pass over the book. This is probably something we said before. I don't mean it to sound like some bombshell, for a clickbait title. He needs to step away for a long time. He's out of ideas. The ideas that he has is that with Charlie's man? The ideas that he has are increasingly just flat uninspired. There's one match that I hated before the bell rang between two good wrestlers, and that's never good. It's getting really heightened and lame again, which is to me a sign of desperation to grab people's attention in a way that you can't do by good proper stuff. We'll get to that as well. It doesn't feel like he loves it like he used to. It's almost weird at this point that All In happened this year. At this point, So the creative decline, burnout, frosting over has happened so quickly after a show that genuinely deserved in terms of the build and the execution, but more so the build, because the execution is always the execution with this roster. Like, I can't believe it happened this year. It's just so like drab and flat. This show ranged from real boring to very idealist to outright lame. And he just needs to, if he did the honorable thing, I think it's for the betterment of the promotion at this point, genuinely. If he did what I would consider the honorable right thing and just right, no one can do this forever. It's not some big insult, a personal insult. No one can, that's the story of the entire business. No one can do this forever. It's for the betterment of AEW if he takes 6 months off it, gets a different voice in there, like obviously watches it, because I would like him at some point, because some bookers have had 2 different phases. It's possible. It is for the betterment of the promotion if he steps away for a minimum of 6 months. Let somebody else do it, see what they can do, and then just revisit it when he's afresh. It's not his mentality. It's not the way his brain works. But my God, he needs to do it. He needs to do it tomorrow, because this is just, it can't go on like this, can it?
It can.
It can. And it will, because it's Tony Khan.
Mick McCarthy.
Yeah, whatever.
Another good manager to add to our British managers AEW thing.
He's Irish.
Oh, of course he is, yeah.
Is he?
No, he's not. He's English. He just managed the Irish team.
Oh, right,
McCarthy, yeah. But he did play for the Republic of Ireland, so maybe.
Shove it up your bollocks.
Shove it up your bollocks, yeah.
That's what they say. That's what everyone says.
Proud Yorkshireman. What was I going to say? That was it. I said it just before we came in. Like, it was before All Out, where I said, AEW's cooled. It's not cold, but it has cooled down a bit. It's cold. Like, so is that have they expedited something in this pay-per-view cycle, or was this just where the cycle was going to get to? Because this was cold. Like, if AEW
There's so much evidence that it's cold as well, by the way.
Yeah, like, from a business point of view, there are lots of metrics.
Listen to it.
And when you
listen to it.
If
I can hear the wrestlers having a chat after time.
Yeah, some of the things you can say, like, and you say them and you mean them, like, they're satisfying the core base. And that's ultimately when a company is not flying high financially, that's the best thing you can do, is satisfy the core base, worry about keeping them grass is green away, water, all that sort of stuff. And then over time, like, this core base wasn't satisfied. Not to listen to them.
They've done the right things, I think, and then we've ended up here.
Not to listen to them, not to look at them. This wasn't a satisfied core base, not at this Dynamite. And I know that's not every single crowd, and there's 5,000 or 6,000 that are going to be at Wrestle Dream that are going to have a great time. Again, the pay-per-views kind of tend to speak for themselves. That's an NXT takeover way of looking at it, but
that's where we're at.
It's something, like these crowds, these attendances. It's a fairly safe and reliable ticket, and the highs of the show will be the things you will talk about at the end of the year, etc. That's not gone away.
If there was one in Newcastle, I would go.
Yeah, but as a weekly TV show.
If there was a Dynamite in Newcastle, I probably wouldn't. I'm saying I wouldn't go to a Dynamite if they did a UK tour and it was in Newcastle and the tickets were pricey. You know what? I'll spend my money on something else. I'm not going to see this. I'll go to a pay-per-view, but not this.
And that, I would say, doesn't necessarily speak to what's happened. But they've sold quite well, the UK Dynamites. The people in Cardiff and Glasgow.
I'm just saying, what's my incentive to go if it's in my area, wherever I am in the world?
It's something that stuck out to me, because Sid just hit it all there already, and then we're going to go, bit by bit. Something I noticed that I would say is different from, say, 2023 or 2024 is there is still a division, because there are still people who really like this. We see it in our comments all the time. Well, it's the best year ever, actually. I mean, you're talking bollocks there, but there are people that still like it and earnestly like it. And we're not here to say you're wrong for liking it. What used to be a bigger problem with the AEW discourse and the fan base and the disagreements was that you had this half of the people that just really liked it. Fine. Then you had this other half of people that didn't like it, but there was like 30 different reasons why. And you couldn't even get agreement between the people that didn't like it. Feels to me like, and you mentioned this, I haven't seen this Matt Rains post, but I can infer from what you were saying, and certainly what we're all thinking.
It's good, eh?
What we're all thinking around the table.
Good. Nail on the head.
And what we sort of talked about in the office this morning, and and when you see other, again, curated followings and whatnot, but when you see other tweets and that, the people that don't like AEW, everybody has kind of rounded on the same thing. It's like, where's the ideas? This is not a serious promotion.
There's the end point to the story.
What is this promoting? What is creative about these things that are happening? Like, for the first time in a while, on the negative side of the fence with AEW, I think most people are pretty much rounding around the same point. It's not just like, oh no, this wrestler should be getting pushed, or this division should
too
be
flippy. It's not.
It's not. It's like, what's creative, what's interesting, what I'm trying so hard not to say tell stories, because they took the words from us years ago, those dickheads.
No,
those
that's
grifters.
exactly a point I was going to make.
Like, and it's not fair, but the point is true. Like, this lacked ideas, it lacked vision, it lacked any sort of creativity. There was elements of it, and I imagine we'll have a long chat about something that, as again, like, you could argue, it is still creative. You could argue if it was good or bad, but the lack of ideas up and down this roster, the men's
Alistair
singles,
Black's creative.
the men's singles division especially, which, whether we like it or not, is like still mainstream wrestling's bread and butter.
Yeah, and I know they've had injuries. Ospreay, Swerve, and MJF.
Yeah, but if you got a stacked roster, then
that's why you have.
Yeah, that's exactly what Matt said as well. Yeah,
that's, to go back to like the British managerial merry-go-round, like, Premier League squads are bigger for that very reason.
and Gregory could get something out of that.
Exactly. Like, who have you got on your bench? AEW, like, the bench just keeps going and going and going. It's like longer than the rest of the stadium. Like, and yet, like, we were talking about Kyle Fletcher yesterday. Sorry, we'll get to the review. I was thinking about Kyle Fletcher's title shot and how much I liked that and supported it, and just like looked up and down in it, the Brett Shawn from 1992 comparison. Well, there's nothing else. Give it the secondary champion. There are locker rooms going back decades that would have killed for the current state of things here. The world champion mostly has nobody. If you're a wrestler in this locker room, you cutthroat, stand up, I don't know what it is, go to the gym, something, like, kick down Tony Khan's door, because like, it is a golden opportunity for you to be like, I'll be the guy. Like, MJF could walk back in and be like, I'll have it again. Yeah. I'll feud with him again, because if nobody wants it, I'll take it again. Like, it's remarkable to me. And if that's not happening, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. No. So if that's not happening, if that is happening, and wrestlers are like, I want it, like, please give me the ball, or like, let me have a pay-per-view run against him, whatever. Like, then that's on Tony Khan for just living by this forum fantasy booker wrestler brain that he's got, of just being like, no, I've got my spreadsheet. Like, I had this Samoa Joe idea, so we're doing it. A guy that, again...
Well, you're not excelling, Tony.
Brilliant. Like, when I was critical of the Joe thing, the pushback was, come on, it's Joe. I like my Joe. I like my 15-minute Joe match. Well, again, the core base did not last night. And the promo last week was, just fine. Like, so when that's your core base idea, and that's not necessarily connecting, I'd
argue there was a better build to a world title match for Hangman Page on last night's show than everything they've done between Joe and Hangman. I'll save that for later.
Okay. It might draw. That's all I can give it, is that it might draw. Joe is this weird, unique, situational draw.
Yeah.
I've always said I like him in a live setting. I can never be arsed with him on television. He's quite a strange figure to analyse in that regard.
He's a draw.
He's got like these numbers that support him previously, so as a pay-per-view, he might be a draw guy. But they were exposed again for like a lack of creative vision beyond... I like that pairing, put them together.
But it's not going to be a completely sad review. We've got special guests and some games to come, so stick around.
Oh, God. People are going to switch off, brother.
Yeah, we're back to dividing the old audience ski.
It started in a good place, Dynamite. Renee's there with what they called the famous last words of the champion, Chris Statlander, and timeless Tony Storm. And they start taking off their clothes, so much so that Renee's like, stop it! Slams her jacket down and is like, right, let's have this chat. And Storm said to Stat, it's not you, it's me. When I lost the title, I thought I'd be free, but I ultimately felt nothing. My canvas went blank. I am the AEW women's title. I've done stuff with that title no other woman has been able to do. If Stat is her murderer, then so be it. She doesn't know who she is without the title, but she doesn't know who Stat is altogether. And Stat said, you'll never be able to figure me out. I'm always evolving. I'm already different than who you faced at All Out. And you're living in the world that I'm champion of. I'm going to outlive everything in the universe and the cosmos. Godspeed, Tony, because I'll outlive everything. I'll outlive them all. And I'll give you the send-off you've dreamed of. Storm said, pro wrestling is the lie that reveals the truth. And at Wrestle Dream, they'll find out the truth. And Stat says the truth is what you're going to have to accept. And they stand up. And they're like, oh! But they're like, you finished? She's like, yep. And they storm out. And they walk down to the ring, and then they just start fighting. There's a Thez press from Tony Storm, an angle slam from Statlander. Storm throws Stat the AEW Women's title and gives her a free shot. Statlander doesn't take it. Storm hits a headbutt and a release suplex. And this time, Statlander gives Storm the title for a free shot. Storm can't do it either. puts the title on Stat's shoulder and gives a nice kiss on the forehead before walking off.
Tony Storm doing sort of... I did love her line, close your eyes, picture the AEW title, I'm wearing it.
Yeah.
Great line, well delivered, and very, very true, because she has become synonymous with it because she is the biggest star in the history of AEW's women's division.
It's like when you see those things, it's like when you see this shirt, which player do you think of? It's her.
Yeah,
for the women's title.
she is that title right now. Great line, well delivered, accurate, credible. I've got no idea what Chris Statlander was talking about, and I don't think she does either. When they both went to the ring, this storytelling thing that Toni Storm does, she's just better when she's vulgar. And I don't want to say that the gimmick is one note, kind of is, because when she does this like histrionic acting, in that there were blips and lulls and cringe moments in the otherwise exceptional Mariah May feud. It's always happened with Toni Storm. This idea of like, can I hurt you? Are you worthy of being? I don't know what the was you going for here with this. Do you know what I mean? What is it? Is it what? So like to put the belt on her? Here's a free shot. No, I can't do it. Is it I respect you too much? Or just why? Why is everyone conflicted?
The free shot thing was bad agent in knowing what you were going to do with Darby and the flag later on as well.
Yeah.
You got 3 separate people in the ring on the night giving it their hit me. Like somebody hit somebody and
Was that on Collision?
Oh, sorry, right, yeah.
I turned it off as soon as Dynamite
Well,
finished, I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
He mentioned it, I was like, have you seen this zombie clip of
It's not a
Darby Allin?
Dynamite and Collision review, is it?
Apologies.
It's a Dynamite review.
Apologies, guys.
There is something from Collision I need to talk about.
This was
I've not seen anything.
this Browl was the hottest thing on the show, though.
Yeah.
Like when they got out there.
Like some weird choices in this.
Statlander was doing the mirror thing that you talk about. Toni Storm was being Toni Storm. Statlander was remembering what she'd said to the mirror 4 hours earlier.
Yeah, I will say, like, this didn't diminish my anticipation of the match, which I firmly expect to be really good. But this whole, I can't take the free shot, I respect you too much stuff. Like, I don't know, man. Just have a fight. Just have a friggin' fight and then interrupt the fight, so I want to see more of the fight on the pay-per-view.
Did you see the image that did the rounds from the countdown of Chris Statlander's face? I don't point next to Mox. It's better than that. Come on. Anyway, we'll get to that.
It's tricky to book babyface versus babyface matches sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Just say some cool lines at each other and then have a fight and have the security interrupt the fight.
Yeah. Jack Perry's there, and you know what he's doing, Sidge? He's got a piece of wood and he's whittling it away.
That's a metaphor for...
He says he doesn't hate the Young Bucks. He loves them. He's always grateful for what they did for him. But when he needed them the most, they didn't pick up the phone or have his back. So he had to look into his past, and in comes Luchasaurus, who growls.
So you would describe him as he has mixed feelings and he's conflicted. Just swear bloody revenge,
I think that
you
might be a
little
new
bitch.
corner. We get a pentagon. Conflicted corner.
Just vow bloody revenge. Is it hard? What happened? What happened to this business?
I like that Jack Perry because he's brought knives back to the lock. He's whittling with it.
We'll get to more of the Jack Perry stuff, and well, stick around to find out if Jack Perry and Kenny Omega can coexist, which I know has kept Sidge up.
Who cares? We kept me up at night. We keep me up all week, man.
Undertaker, like,
I forgot about that on this one. I was like, oh god, thank God Sidge can finally get 40 wings after this show. Probably watching it. If anything.
Undertaker attending his first
it.
AEW show and thinking like Shawn Michaels when he saw Chris Jericho dressed up as Doink. They made Kane a dinosaur. What the hell?
Then we got.
He always was.
Then we got the Hurt Syndicate versus the Gates of Agony. Obviously, the Hurt Syndicate dominate early on. Bishop Khan gets the tag, but Tony only gets clotheslined over the top by Lashley. Ricochet takes the ref. He's not in the match. He's at ringside, obviously, and that allows Bishop Khan to basically kick the rope into Bishop Khan to kick the rope into Bobby Lashley's cack.
1, 2, Bish Khan.
Totally on it. Someone drop off the apron. By the way, I think I mentioned this to you the other day. I was randomly listening to an old Brian and Vinny show with Granny on, who I love. And she called, I was like, how did we not do this as a bit back in the day? She called Noam.
We don't do bits.
Well, granted, yeah. She called Noam Dar, Norm Door. I was like, class that, innit? Wish I'd thought that. Anyway, yeah.
Wish I thought.
Totally on a hit Samoan drop to take us to a break.
Where is he? That's an arm dog.
He come back. Lashley hits a big boot. No, sorry, gets hit with a big boot, but comes back with a belly-to-belly suplex. Tags to Quan and Shelton Benjamin. That's the thing now. Ricochet saves Quan from danger, but eats a really good knee to the face from Shelton. German suplex by Benjamin gets 2. Toliano comes in, gets DDT'd, but immediately pops up and headbutts Shelton. It all breaks down. Toliano and Bobby Lashley collide right at the commentary table. Benjamin hits a belly-to-belly off the top on Quan. MVP throws his cane in the ring. The ref gets it and grabs it, but that allows Ricochet to sneak in and hit a spirit gun on Shelton. And MVP nails Ricochet with the cane, but Bishop Khan gets the pin on Shelton Benjamin for the 1-2-3. The Hurt Syndicate's first pinfall loss as a tag team in AEW.
I was holding on to something because Shelton Benjamin getting pinned feels a bit like something, but you can't go, God, what does this mean for the career trajectory of GOA? When you know they're going to do the job on Saturday.
Yeah.
Did
the job last week in the same match.
Indeed. This match was I would describe it as a briefly enjoyable waste of time. It was a complete and utter waste of time. Pointless doing it. Absolutely pointless doing it. It didn't advance the story in any way. It just churned towards the inevitable conclusion of the Hurt Syndicate winning. So GOA winning here meant nothing. And there's always, if you look, we were talking about this yesterday, the patterns of, right, okay, well, it's WWE 2018, not as bad, but you're doing WWE 2018 maths when they rematch this so often. It's like, all right, okay, well, GOA, they'll probably get the win because they'll do this so they can pretend there's a shred of doubt over the outcome on Saturday or whatever. Like, who stands tall at the end? Oh, well, they're not winning at the pay-per-view. WWE, math, calc, and trig.
Everybody stands medium.
Yeah. And I suppose that, all right, well, the Hurt Syndicate's obvious desire to win at all costs, that might hang over everything. That might sort of complicate the formula that we're telling here, but ultimately I'm thinking about these things. I'm not feeling a damn thing. Elements of the match are enjoyable. The crowd kind of went into the Hurt Syndicate, which is a change from everything else, really, on the show.
Yes, we heard people chant, yeah.
Ricochet's bump for that Shelton Benjamin knee was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. He looked like he got his rocked.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. Highlight of the match, which otherwise... There are like the Hurt Syndicate have got this thing about them where almost everything they do kind of looks badass to a degree. So it's kind of it is hard to get bored during a Hurt Syndicate match, but I can get there. I can get there.
Yeah, I don't like the Hurt Syndicate. The constant, I've said this weeks ago, but the constant like thought of, oh, what's going on there then? Like, just infects everything, The dynamics here piss me off. Like, it's been a Hurt Syndicate problem from the beginning because there's an element of, it's not the same, but there's an element in MVP especially of like, that kind of hardest, coolest, most handsome problem that when a wrestler gets it, when it's like, no, I want to be a 10 in all top trumps categories. And it's like, well...
He was kind of insufferable on the outside, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's like sliding the cane in, and it's like, right, who's the heels, who's the babyface? It's like, we're both actually, and we're best at all of them. Like, it's like, well, that's why I don't... Oh, that explains why I don't give a shit.
Is it made out of plastic?
It ain't made out of plastic, Sid. The match at the weekend, separate them off, because I think not for the first time in these situations, Ricochet's like shone a bit in a program that is a turd, like a dull turd. Separate these two off after Wrestle Dream, like Ricochet and his heaters versus Hangman Page. Just scissors dickhead Ricochet versus Hangman Page. Let's have a look at that. Like, really heat him up. GOA, he's got muscle with him. He's got talent. He can talk about being like, he
can trivialize mental health issues
massively
if he wants.
so. Literally laugh in the face of them. So well done for beating Will Ospreay to get your shot at that. Like I was doing him years ago. You sad dog. Just turn it up, and I've got big guys with me. Well, like as soon as I do the talking, then you step forward, and it's just like a summit. Like Ricochet is somebody that hasn't been like tainted really by this. Like that was what I thought.
I won't be available, unfortunately, for the Wrestle Dream preview podcast tomorrow, of course.
What?
What? But I would.
How long does that Wrestle Culture song take to prep?
Got stuff to do. But I would suggest, if I was the Hurt Syndicate, don't let MVP take 80% of the match, probably. That would be my strategy that I'd just tweak this time around.
I like it when you have thoughts.
Oh, I occasionally do have doubts.
Have some thoughts about WWE next.
Oh, don't worry. I've got millions of them.
That's all I was thinking about.
Right, moving on. We see footage of Darby Allin attacking Jon Moxley at New York Comic Con, and then we head to jail.
Oh, God.
For a cinematic meeting of Jon Moxley and Darby Allin. I'll do it at the end, actually. I've got a little game for you. Moxley's on the other side of the glass, making sure that Darby knows the implications of an I Quit match.
I've never seen him this angry.
Morning, Michael. Did you enjoy your wrestling show? I don't want to talk about it. He says, in Toronto, there was zero chance Alan would ever put Mox in a coffin. The game was rigged. This is I Quit, and it's rigged in both directions. Moxley,
Why are you having the match then?
The director's commentary. Moxley knows neither of them will quit.
We liked this scene, but then we knew that the outcome was completely pointless.
Yes.
What do you want to do? I'm out of ideas. If you want to be on the right side of history, it's never too late. Darby says he wishes he could, but he can't. Not a day goes by that he doesn't think about joining the Death Riders. He doesn't respect Mox after what he did to Danielson. Why would he go to war with someone who'd stab his brother in the back? Mox said, I did the best I could for Danielson. This is a war for the future of the sport, their craft. Sacrifices need to be made. It's tough for Mox.
Sporting about a Molotov cocktail, buddy. You're the problem at this point. The Death Riders should continue to attack you.
Darby Allin doesn't know what sacrifice is.
I'm not joking.
Darby Allin said when he was at the summit of Mount Everest, raising the AEW flag, he looked down and he saw Moxley chipping away at what makes AEW so special.
I did picture like Tiny Catburger and Jon Moxley who's chased him to Everest and I'm going to bring this mountain down, like just chiseling it.
I had two things. Number one, it's good eyesight.
It's not a point in the world.
Doesn't look good down there.
Or
have you got signal up here? Oh, welcome to Dynamite. By the way, what was that? An intro.
Oh, you it up every week. Every week.
I forgot to mention.
Get on the same page. Who's up and where? Because Excalibur. Speaking of the Death Riders, oh no, actually, there's another graphic that just popped up, and that's completely thrown me, even though I'm a broadcast professional.
Of course, that's
he needs to
wait for that tonight. Wait, no, that's Saturday. What day is it?
They need a lead guy who isn't him.
Yeah. Sorry.
I know Jim Ross is miserable. I know that. I can't, in good conscience or good faith, rose tint Jim Ross, who he was on when he was on. He was as good once as he ever was, but that was about literally 5% of the time, if that. But it was better when Excalibur wasn't doing this. He can't be the face and voice of a promotion. He's awkward. He is...
Don't open the show with it either.
He is the opposite of polished. You need a bit of polish. I don't like, pancakes, waffles. I don't know, you like Michael Cole? No, I don't want to made everything, actually. So I don't want Michael Cole, bro, but I don't want Excalibur neither.
It's a pancake with Michael Cole's face on. No!
I don't want Michael Cole either, but bro, I don't. But Excalibur is crap in this role. He's got no authority. I'd feel pity if he wasn't increasingly unlikable.
It's sort of a later thing.
No, speaking of the Death Riders, no, it's happening again. Fucking gotta get with the program. It's either you're messing it up or the production notes don't marry with
Franking him.
the order that the production team are doing it in. Work it out. Get the sound done. 6 years.
Right, do you want to say something?
Yeah, like because it's sort of related to later, but I think it's more related to Sidgwick's point. Brian, right, who has shown historically to be quite a good commentator as far as wrestlers moving at that spot go. It's hard, some can't do it. Like, did you notice him kind of like trying to produce the desk a bit during the main event, where he was like, hang on, what are you doing here? Like, nobody's asking any questions that relate to any of the story. It was like, and Hangman was like, sort of, kind of like assessing my opponent or whatever it was he said. And Brian was like, yeah, but he's not in there. He was like, and you could tell he was like trying to like, should we, try?
Yeah, no, he said it was Dave Meltzer made this point as well. Like, he's too honest for this role, ultimately, Danielson.
Yeah.
He calls it as he sees it, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's just
which is good because as a wrestler, you're supposed to be like, that hold doesn't work, or that, was it like,
it was during the ladder match it was most egregious at the pay. It was like, why is no one climbing?
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing here?
I've got a question. Remember what this match is for? So yeah, he's seen Mox.
Back to prison, sorry.
He's seen Mox. He's seen him chipping away. Darby Allin's going to hang that flag in his house, so he's reminded every day what AEW gives him. But before then, he's going to wrap it around Moxley's throat. And the entire operation is going to come crumbling down. Mox says, it might not mean much to you, but I've never lied to you. You're just fighting ghosts, chasing highs, trying to prove to the world that you're indestructible. It's a selfish game. And the biggest difference between the two of us is this isn't about me. Then Pac appears and kills Darby Allin, throws him into the wall, throws him into the glass. There's blood everywhere. Darby Allin collapses as Mox leaves his part of the jail cell or whatever.
Subjectively bad, in my opinion. Objectively bad on one level. I was as soon as I heard the music, as I was doing Lucha Underground crap, then great. And here's the thing, right? People love Lucha Underground. People want this kind of thing in pro wrestling. But it's, from my opinion, right, and I'll go to something that I think has been broadly proven to be a fact for years and years after this, but in my opinion, I don't want to see this in AEW, which I don't know. Like, what are we doing here with this? Like, I'm looking at this scene. Why they're in a prison?
Because the commentators said it was the only safe place they could have a face-to-face because of all the hatred and the Molotov cocktails.
That's a little bollocks.
Yeah, but that was the rationale.
Okay, right.
Such a secure environment and do it in theory.
Do it in the ring with loads of security in the middle.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't think you're allowed to take Molotov cocktails into prison. So yeah, that would make sense.
You're not allowed to take them anywhere, dickhead. Right, whatever.
That was the, yeah. That
okay,
was
it's still stupid. They could have done it in the ring in a million different ways. Like, I'm looking at this stupid goddamn thing, and all I could think about was the camera and thinking, how did they get in there? It's like,
he knows that's my Achilles heel. I texted him about it. Went on
Tuesday night. Yeah.
I said it. Because I can't remember what show we did it on.
Because we were talking about like how insidious WWE's Saudi Arabia campaign was.
Wasn't it?
Like Greatest Royal Rumble, then we'll do these stupid like Super Showdown, Crown Jewel, and then like to try and normalize what was to come. Oh, Elimination Chamber. Oh, how did that get in there?
And I said I was just making tea on a Tuesday night. And I just started laughing. And he was like, "What is it?" And I was like, "I can't explain it." And I laughed again when I texted him about it as we were watching England destroy Latvia.
Yeah, it's coming home as well. Like the idea of, right, okay, well, we need to do in this place. There's like at least 2 cameras in there.
Yeah.
And then
one on each side
of the partition, Darby and Mox, and it's like, well, we could just do it in opposite sides of the building. Yeah, but jails are cool, bro. It's like, already I'm thinking it's sort of fake and corny and try hard, and someone's lovingly edited together and go, I know what we should do for dramatic effect. Put some like haunting music, a score over it. And as soon as you go to those extra steps, even if, as you correctly point out, there's half a reason for them to do it, I just think, it's just lame. It's absolutely lame. And I just like, insofar as this sort of thing goes, which is default not my thing, I almost don't care how well it's executed because I don't believe it in the world. Like someone's gone to what would be a great music choice to really sort of like artificially enhance the drama of this scene. It's not wrestling to me in that case, or it's certainly not AEW or what I want it to be. Even before I consider the quality of it, I don't like it. Insofar as this sort of thing goes, I was turned off instantly, but like the Darby's blood splatter thing, it could have looked worse. It could have looked worse. I understand why people who sensibilities-wise can get into this thought it was a decent bit of business. Whenever you flirt with doing this in a pro wrestling context, something that looks like something else, I'm like, well, it's not as good as films. So seriously, why bother? You've got the ultimate selling point of a live arena to manipulate, to get them to make noise. And I always think of a wrestler who can do this, like it's almost like a godlike figure if they can make an arena go nuts for them, because it's the ultimate like validation of how good they are at their craft. Whenever this goes into the cinematic environment, I just think, well, you're not as good as literally any actor who gets regular work, because you are not an actor. You are a professional wrestler. So it's always got this weird ceiling imposed on it before you even get into the fakeness, right? Here's the thing. From the dawn of time, and I would say that AEW, very early into the Dynamite run, didn't do this very often, but I would describe it as a rule-proving exception. It was such a unique, like, way in which it was able to launch that it kind of broke a lot of rules. Every hot promotion ever, or at least in the way I've lived through pro wrestling, has had these rousing babyface in-ring promos. Like the 2021 stuff, like Eddie Kingston and CM Punk's face-to-face. Was it better than this between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley? Yes, it was. By 1 million friggin' degrees it was. They need way more of that than this. Way more of that than this.
Punk and Moxley was better than this, and that program was all over the shop.
I liked it.
Like they do the kissy face bit and then the headbutt and all that. Like
fragile body, fragile.
Like, that was an extremely divisive bit of business, and that was better in person.
AEW on the back of the last 2 weeks, yes, they've had better reactions in the more intimate places, but they've only gone there because they've done a bad job of selling tickets, and they've done a bad job of selling tickets because they've done a bad job of building stars and really telling stories. Like them, they need to start energizing live crowds. They need to start convincing more people in the places they play in front of to come to the shows. You're not going to achieve that with a cinematic crap. Like, there is nothing. The joy of pro wrestling is seeing it done in front of a lot of people who are going banana at what you are selling them. And the fact that they've avoided doing that when they need to do it most is, I just found it stupid, like incredibly stupid, even before you consider the content of this, which, as I said, has always got a ceiling lowered upon it because they're not actors, they are wrestlers.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So I didn't hate this, really. I didn't feel much for it either way, which is no good.
It really isn't my sort of thing.
Yeah, like, I'm more patient.
If you want Lucha Underground stuff, be my guest, go and watch Lucha Underground. Didn't really last, did it? Because there's no big enough audience for it.
So my take on this was, when I was watching it, this is like AEW's spin on, like, and it was more violent and a bit more to the point, and darker in tone. This is like AEW's spin on, and the example I came up with, but there's been loads, is the Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes football field showdown before they became partners.
You're in my way. Okay, it's pretty obvious for subtext. No, you're in my way of life. All right, okay.
Like, I loved how massive that made them both look, right? However, I will accept that that sort of stuff isn't for everybody. The problem comes is that I remember saying things like this when we would analyze the Devil. And I am like not a good audience for this because it's like, hey, no, I don't mind some elements of this. I like a Gabbo. I like a sort of, where's this going then? All right, you got me for one more week. Like, but that, even then, I was taking pelters for it because it was like, yeah, you stupid little Fed brain likes that and it doesn't belong in AEW and it doesn't fit, right? And I would argue, well, like, yeah, but then sometimes people want to watch and they do actually want the cliffhanger. That argument is redundant, really, because it did prove categorically that this stuff doesn't really fit in AEW. So me saying like this is AEW's slightly like edgier, grittier version of, say, a Roman and Cody in a football field is still a problem because they've been told countless times, don't do your version of their thing, do you? So this wasn't like best foot forward for AEW, even if it was good, even as Sidge points out, even if this is for you as a wrestling fan, this is not really what AEW exists for. And it hit me just before we came in to record that when Jon Moxley left WWE, the video celebrating his release back into the wild was what? An escape from prison. And he's put himself back there as if to illustrate that ultimately we all end up sports entertaining. Like, that's where it goes in the end. Like, you said it last week, Sidge. Jon Moxley is taking on Dean Ambrose, not Darby Allin.
Yeah.
On Saturday, this will not matter. Jon Moxley and Darby Allin will kill it on Saturday. They will nail this.
It's the thing I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah, it'll be exciting.
It will be, when the bell rings and all said and done, and thankfully it will be done.
Yeah.
I'll get scared.
It will be cathartic. It will be exciting. It will be thrilling. Me and Sidge will preview it for the rest of the period. Can't wait. The thing I'm most excited about in the pay-per-view, like, you are going to this much trouble with these segments and with flamethrowers and Molotov cocktails to do the stuff that is ultimately redundant, to do the stuff that is ultimately, can we just get through this trash? Like, to get to the bit that we want. Like, it's having the opposite effect and you're actually putting more into it. I am a lot more patient than Sidge with this type of stuff. And I didn't even mind elements of this. But you are kind of wasting your time and potentially burning out your audience on the stuff that is your best stuff, really. Moxley as well. Sorry, one more thing. Moxley here, when he was talking the same bollocks that he was talking when the Death Riders was at its worst. What is the vision for the Death Riders? Because
They should have broken up, really.
yeah,
They really should have
We've
broken
gone back into that stupid mess of like kayfabe and reality where, hang on, if you were trying to make AEW better in real life and in fiction, you did it. Like, you have done it with Hangman Page World Heavyweight Champion, with Saving the Day, with a show like All In, with a moment like All In. What are you still doing? If you're asking
Look
the
what they're doing
questions,
with Daniel Garcia now. That's the big goal.
we're back taking the
They
piss out of
They
it.
should break them up. I tell you what, it wasn't just Matt Reigns who said the reset. Like, it's just even if people haven't articulated it or even admitted it to themselves yet, there is a feeling of, God, there's a lot of crap that just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Like,
He's not credible, Moxley, when he says about what.
I would, even if it wasn't the plan, I would do something big at this point. Well, oh no, the Death Riders have gone. I mean, they were getting really good, but like, it was the perfect endpoint, really. I know you had to do the Derby stuff. Maybe you could have just done one match and then the turn on Mox and do this. Something big needs to have a definite, that's finished with. Let's all move on. It's just in stasis.
If you're a babyface and you go to work at AEW and you arrive at your job, an AEW wrestler, when you get there, are you more scared of the Death Riders or of the Don Callis family? Because there's really loads of them. Like, you stand to be in like 6 different feuds with the Don Callis family. That's not a joke. Like, you stand to be in like multiple ways in which the Don Callis family can F your S up, right? The Death Riders at this point, they're mostly single issue. Really bloody sick of Darby Allin and like, what's John want today? Like, that's about it, innit? Like, you can walk down more halls and be less scared of the Death Riders.
Well, they're outside as well, so you won't see them.
Yeah, you can walk down more halls and be less scared of the Death Riders than you can the Don Callis family. And when they were at their most dominant, dangerous, whatever you want to call it, there was only really them as the big heel threat, wasn't there? They're not even that anymore. They've made it very clear. There was 15 of them. Jesus, Don Callis, you know, they're the preeminent. Them again,
Yeah.
like.
I'm going to say this one more time before we move on.
I've got a game before we move on.
Oh, great. One more time before I move on. The very best, and again, it can't be that good because it's not cinema. It's wrestling. The very best cinematic vignette pro wrestling could ever hope to create will never in a million lifetimes be as good as the CM Punk Eddie Kingston confrontation, or insert your favorite face-to-face, the John Moxley Eddie Kingston head of Full Gear 2020.
MJF Punk going back and forth.
It will never, ever in a million years ever be as good. And here's the thing, AEW, more than ever, needs more of that kind of stuff in front of fans, because increasingly they feel, look, and visibly are kind of bored, right? If you want to do Lucha Underground stuff, be my guest. I just wouldn't watch it personally as my choice. But if you want to get fans back in the buildings and make it hot and good, you've got to do this kind of stuff in front of them.
Now, you two weren't a fan of this thing that was Mox and Darby in jail or whatever. Tell you one person who was, though. and that's Drainmaker.
It's time to play the game! Time to play a game! Ha 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 ha!
What piece of cinema did Drainmaker compare Mox and Darby to?
Not all of us are completely terminally online. Could you explain the concept of Drainmaker for the listeners? The concept of Drainmaker.
It's AEW Gareth. If you're a sort of,
no one knows
I know I was going to say, but I realised you were also
the concept of Drainmaker. Can wankers online feel love?
Yeah. Drainmaker is a unpaid AEW company mascot account on X, formerly known as Twitter, who thinks literally everything they do is incredible, and he conveys this with Elmau for every vaguely amusing or a moment they hope to be amusing. Everything's great and everything's conveyed as being great in all caps, and it's a joke.
Yeah, the usual game we play with Drainmaker is, did this make him cry laughing? Because I got really angry when he said that...
we don't know who it is.
When they said that Elklon slightly warping Takeshita's entrance made them cry laughing.
To be absolutely fair to Drainmaker, as a human being, they're quite impressive because they cry all the water out of the body twice a week and are still there every Wednesday and Saturday, rain or shine. So,
and there's no water left, and then all the promos are fire. So,
and his ass disappeared. Their ass disappeared a long time ago because they've been laughing it off since 2019.
Ass disappeared.
Sorry, he loved that on it.
So, what piece of cinema was this compared to?
Citizen Kane is too obvious.
No, I think I've seen the tweet, so I'll let Hamflett. I know exactly what it is.
I think if he's seen the tweet, that's good. I can throw you to you for the answer.
I think it is anyway.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Good.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Right.
Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh.
No, dear, that's wrong.
And then
Sort of tense prisoner exchanges. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Michael Sidgwick, what movie scene did Drainmaker compare Mox and Darby to?
The Dark Knight.
Which features...
The Joker, baby.
Watch this. Watch. I'm just scroll down. I'm not touching anything. Ready? Top reply. Guy's only seen The Boss Baby. Watching his second movie. Get a lot of Boss Baby vibes from this.
What was that? Comedian's take on the joke that you said yesterday. Really,
there's something
popped me.
sinister about the character of the Joker. A man who commits crimes but finds it amusing.
By chance, the algorithm must listen and stuff. I saw like another one of his bits where like somebody's holding the book and it says, if you ask me, all the clowns are in the White House, and it's like the cover of his political satire book.
So on the subject of that, because it's way more interesting than the next match, algorithms and like Big Brother's watching and stuff, I on Twitter asked people to give me recommendations for a good, like really heavy music breakdown, something is good, because I think the two best ever breakdowns in the history of heavy music. And I'm not really, years ago, I used to be quite knowledgeable about it, but my tastes expanded, but now I'm venturing back in. So I want to know. Let us know on X or in the comments, which I don't really read. Domination by Pantera, Dead Embryonic Cells by Sepultura. So I was like, give us a great breakdown. Give me a great breakdown. Give me a great breakdown. And Michael Hamflett was like, in your house breakdown, check it out.
I was just feeling cheeky.
And then I put
mischievous.
And I put on Netflix the next night. What does it recommend to me on the homepage?
Oh, please tell me it was breakdown in your house. Yeah. Did you watch the Triple Threat Cage match?
In 1998, I did.
I wasn't lying to you, man. It kicks ass.
I know. One of these
Watch
days.
the main event.
No. Why would I ever, by choice, watch Kane?
Yeah, good point.
Obviously, you did the Try Not to Laugh challenge with us. Really enjoyed that, and we became more professional. I'm going to test the two of you now. Try not to laugh at this, because Drainmaker couldn't.
He couldn't contain himself. He couldn't.
No. Young Bucks on BTE bumped into Speedball Mike Bailey backstage, who was also filming his own blog at the same time. AW Vlog Civil War. Cry laugh emoji. Good work, boys.
I mean, it's so stupid that I have to laugh.
Fun fact, Konosuke Takeshita, spoilers, won the IWGP even World Heavyweight Championship on Don Callis' birthday. Mind blown, cry laugh emoji. What? What?
I think I'm turning babyface on Dre, mate. Mind blown. What? Ah! 2 things on the same day. What, am I Bailey up here? Drainmaker's bailing out.
Push works at the Fed. Honestly, man. Oh, you know, it's somebody else's birthday today, you know. I feel bad. It's Kenny Omega's.
Is it? Kenny Omega shares his birthday with my dad.
Happy birthday, Kenny Omega.
Happy birthday,
Chris
Kenny
Wilbourn.
Omega. Treat yourself to some stuff without the Young Bucks for a change.
You can recommend a match.
I love
Personal
him.
message.
I love him, and he's making me resent him a little bit for all this, but we'll get to that.
Are you going to wrap that not working with the Young Bucks 3 years?
Right, after this.
All right, babe? You haven't touched. You're not working with the Young Bucks for 3 years.
It's not that I don't appreciate it. I just didn't ask for not working with the Young Bucks 3 years.
It's been 9 of them. Jesus!
What is the thing where it's like, try not to work with the Young Bucks challenge? Impossible.
Impossible.
Right, after this, we got Roderick Strong versus Claudio Castagnoli. I was happy about seeing this on Dynamite.
Yeah, shut up, man. I know why.
Not for the reasons you might expect. I will echo Excalibur's get well soon to Taz, who had shoulder surgery at the start.
Speaking of echo, you could play.
Oh, yeah, I know you can hear that.
You could play the commentary track and it sound like the Bobby Fish button.
And I mean, folks, where's the lie?
Backbreaker, suplex. Like,
Honestly, I thought.
what are we doing?
So I was like, right, this is the match that's next, right? Okay, I'll skip ahead 2 minutes because it's the entrances. It's not a big thing in AEW or, you know, in my head at all. I thought in the intervening 2 minutes someone had passed away. I'm not joking. That crowd. It was like the. Is it like, oh God, am I allowed to make noise yet? I'm not joking. It was so silent in a way that it felt like they weren't allowed to make noise. It was a different kind of silence to our a bit bored by this.
God.
It was like, God, is it okay?
I was at the stadium. I like that day, you know, when the Man United fans are getting the text message that Aguero scored the winner.
Oh.
Like, sort of like the AEW fans, just like, the text gone round. How many pages signed for WWE? Like, they've all read the text at the same time.
Yeah, it's like, what? It felt like they weren't allowed to make noise.
He died over the speakers. They announced like a celebrity death over the speakers. Anyway, enjoy the match.
Poor dog.
I wouldn't give it to Excalibur. He'd get it wrong.
It's still Alive Jones over here.
He's got shoulder surgery, mate. Come on. So leave off Taz for a week.
Get well soon,
Leave
Taz.
off Taz for a week, man. He's a legend.
Yeah.
Chops, forearms, backbreaker on the apron. I was like, that's my notes, and you've already said it, basically. A giant swing into the barricade after catching Roderick Strong in midair. Takes us to a break. When we come back, Strong fights back with a drop kick, but there's a huge lariat from Claudio. Crossface, Strong gets a rope break. Claudio misses a boot, crotches himself over the top rope. Strong hits a running boot to the floor.
What's a floor? I know what a floor is, but I don't know. I've got no earthly idea what a floor is.
Backbreaker onto the LEDs. We go back to the ring. Claudio wants a gut wrench superplex, but Strong hits a super backbreaker on the top turnbuckle. Wants a running knee, but Claudio catches him and pop-up uppercut gets the 1, 2, 3.
What the was this? And I'm sorry, man. Like, I, in a way, half resented this match before it even happened, right? And what I mean by, and I know that's not fair. Like, trust me, I know I'm a dickhead, right? And I know that's not fair, but let me explain. This, Tony Khan You either die a hero. We're talking about Dark Knight. Yeah.
I watched it the other night. It's random, innit?
Tony Khan, you either die a hero or you live long enough to prove the worst people right. Because what the... It's like, I understand why this was booked, right? But there's something so cynical and suck-uppy about it, you know? This is suck-up match graphic stuff, right? This match, right? Claudio's barely pushed. It's got nothing to do with the pay-per-view, and this is the go-home show for the goddamn pay-per-view. Is he on it?
Not currently. No.
Is Roddy on it?
No. They'll end up on the tailgate or the pre-show or whatever.
Cares.
They put over the fact that he won without any help from the Death Riders, didn't they?
Yeah.
First match.
There's only 8 things currently, so they'll get added.
No, stop.
Either way, right? Like, they're not going to have a major singles match or anything like that. Even if they do get added or whatever. So, definitionally, a kind of a waste of time, considering it's the go-home show. And yeah, I know it's 3 hours or whatever, but just do some talking segments instead. Right. So this match was a waste of time at kind of a less than ideal time when I want to get excited about the pay-per-view, and it's difficult when I'm watching something not remotely connected to the pay-per-view. So it's not good television, this, even if it's a good match, and it wasn't a good match, really. And I'll get into why momentarily. But when I'm talking about sucking up, it's like, it feels like in Collision's a lot of this, and it's been happening for a while. Like, oh, the sickos will love this. It feels like this kind of match is Tony Khan's shield defense mechanism against, oh, well, no one can really, and, you know, it's all the Death Valley Driver message board posters will enjoy this match, and they won't think I'm lame if I do this. It's like his sort of, like, credentials. You know what I mean? It's like it's his MSN Messenger status. It's like his credentials on display, and I have to watch it, and everybody else has to watch it, and it's criticism proof, right? It's kind of in his head. It feels like criticism proof because Roddy, sickos love Roddy, put him in a singles match, and oh god, you know, like you don't like Roderick Strong? God, you're not cool. Do you know he's one of those wrestlers?
Yeah.
The ball knowers love Roddy. Claudio, perfect opponent for that. What we're doing here, is this a Collision, like in the exact intersection between pay-per-views when he could probably get away with doing a match like this? And this idea, and like the ball knowing Twitter accounts, which again, like, you sound like the worst bad faith critics when you say Tony Khan books for them. What else is this? Like, what else is this specific match at this specific time? And guess what? I'm not saying that there's a casual mythical wrestling fan who was like, I don't know what the story is here. Can't watch this. And at the same time, what's the story here? I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
And the match is perfunctory. There's a cool moment where Roderick Strong is like really kicking his leg. I'm not getting swung by you, motherfucker. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. There's the bones of what people like about this pairing in this match. And there's the cool Roddy's like sort of baseball slide, but he hangs off the second rope to do it and then into the swing. I mean, there's some good wrestling in there. No one's ever going to say that there's actively bad wrestling in this match, but God, no one cared. And it wasn't even that good. It was another Roderick Strong. What? This is not even that good. He gets, in certain circles, the circles that Tony Khan is sucking up to, this guy's a demigod, nothing less. Is he? The last two singles matches he's had that I've seen on like Dynamite on a Wednesday have been mediocre.
Michael, I'd love to get your thoughts on all this.
I'm not finished.
Oh.
I am not finished.
Whilst you're finished wrapping up, and then we get your thoughts. I'm just going to nip outside because
It wasn't.
Sunderland want to build a statue of me after yesterday.
Oh, shut up. You know, I've got to hate this as well. Like, tell me the finish didn't really come out of nowhere. There was, honestly, it felt like the people thought that something kind of bad had happened in the arena. It's just different to like an uninterested crowd. This was so deathly quiet beyond the odd like cool move. So deathly quiet that it felt like they were not allowed to make noise. This match had no reason to exist. No one liked it really in the crowd. The work was adequate in a way that is bare minimum for these two. And the finish was like, oh, God. And I was half thinking, well, God, at least it's over. They were dying out there.
Yeah.
And yet weird, ball-knowing snobs will praise it, even though it fundamentally failed to achieve the bare minimum of what pro wrestling should, and that's get the crowd on board. This was, I hated this match for reasons that aren't necessarily fair to the wrestlers or whatever, but it speaks so much about AEW's problems and so much about just certain wrestling snobs that I don't like, and that's got nothing to do with anything I know. But my God, I saw this exist, and I'm like, it's existing for people who kind of don't get it in my head.
Yeah.
Like Roderick Strong's singles match, this cult, he's done nothing in them for the last 2 times at least. And he's not going in there with like cloggers. I don't get this. I never will. It's everything wrong with AEW to a degree that it makes me sound like Bischoff, Cornette, Geary. And I don't want to sound like them three. Trust me, I don't. They're kind of making me do it.
Well, like, either the ball knowers or Tony Khan, like, have they lost their minds a bit if they think this is in any way good business?
It's not good business. It's not good television. Business. It wasn't even good wrestling, really.
Well, like,
great wrestling.
Like, maybe I do want to let's go off on a tangent here because it would keep somebody quite uncomfortable. But like, I was thinking about this in contrast to we were laughing at the shoddy execution of those elbows in that Raw triple threat on Monday, right? We were laughing at that. Like, hot as balls, but we were laughing at it. And it sort of spoke to the weird decline of 2025 in the, as you point out, execution as usual on point, to the entertainment of, 0 people in that building, from what you could hear.
Honestly, it felt like they were not allowed to make noise.
And piss poor execution on Raw.
Like, try not to pop challenge.
Yeah. Piss poor execution on Raw to the, like, gleeful entertainment of others. And to your point about, like, not wanting to just, like, justify the grifters here, but I don't consider myself a grifter. And yet I do campaign that you need to think carefully about actually how you make stars, because it is amazing what you will invest in and thus wave away.
That's what the business is built on.
I always use my own love of Jey Uso while laughing at what a terrible wrestler he is, right? This is such an inverse. I am frankly shocked that the supposed ball knowers can even justify liking this. This is such an extreme inverse to the silence this played out to. It's never mind moves happening in front of me. It's moves putting me to sleep. Because the execution, it's worse that the execution was fine. Yeah. You know, if the execution was poor, you'd be like, well, they're getting what they deserve.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting what they deserve. The wrestlers aren't getting what they deserve out of an experience. The punters, the ticket buying public, are getting even less. Well, we didn't pay for this. Like, who's this? Like,
no, honestly,
this is like losing. I feel like I've watched matches like this before in AEW, and it's like, am I losing my mind here that this is deemed acceptable? And this, to me, was this like event horizon for it, because it felt like everybody. I thought, until like I've seen a couple of positive reviews for it, that everybody came on board and went, right, enough's enough. And yet there's still people being like, yeah, but that backbreaker, man. You know, like
no one in this building gave, you could hear a rat piss on cotton. I'm not being funny. I know there's a certain type, and they're all on Twitter, a certain type of wrestling fan who believes that Roderick Strong, who like, they make it hard to like him because he is awesome and he's awesome, is received as a demigod. And Tony Khan probably shared message boards with them in the past, probably wants them to think he's cool. Like, has Roderick Strong done anything in AEW this year where it's like, you got to give him a singles match?
No.
Maybe if you're saying, maybe Joe versus Roddy, if they're not doing the trios title stuff, you'd think, all right, well, he's just there to eat a pin or whatever.
Yeah. If the conglomeration were more over as an act, proper over, not just like wacky over, then you would have a single splinter, I guess. But it's not happened.
This was just wild and almost pathetic that it happened. I will say yet again, I must reiterate, it's almost not fair on the wrestlers that I hated this match so much, but it says so much about Tony Khan's completely misplaced priorities. Like, if you're making people who truly still believe to a degree that this promotion can be like class again, or it's got no excuse not to be, is maybe a better way of putting it. And you're making me sound like I'm Bruce Pritchard saying, where's the stories? And I hate myself and I hate everything. I hate this.
Gentlemen, it is I, Roderick Strong. How are we doing this fine day?
I'm starting to get in a real foul mood.
I just think it's important when products don't lose their understanding of fundamentally what makes them work. Don't you agree, Sid?
I agree with that take absolutely gigantically. Greatly agree with that take. And I
You
swear,
cannot look at him. That's the problem.
no, and I swear to God as well. And I've made this point before, because of the way in which AEW has kind of greedily taken every available USP for itself and like almost casually like decimated everything in its wake that could be a cool wrestling thing stateside. No indies, almost like involuntary. It's them or nothing, and they are nothing now. It just feels like they're nothing. Hello, Oderick.
Good day. I must apologize for my absence yesterday. I was busy at an event. Hand in the window. That's where I was yesterday. So I was unavailable for the preview of AEW Dynamite.
Hand in the window.
Wasn't your colleague at foot in the door?
Oh, yeah, we didn't know it was called
I
that.
didn't know. I took no interest in what Adam Wilbourn really was doing yesterday.
We were making jokes about him scoring with co-eds.
Good for him. I have a riddle for you.
Well, I guess I'm happy for you, but it just made our lives a bit harder yesterday. So,
He loves NXT, you see, so he's like really good in those reviews in there. We sort of sometimes struggle to summon his enthusiasm for that show.
Sensational show on Tuesday. If I miss, I hit your bush. It's my job to stuff your box. When I come, it's news. What am I?
it's a newspaper. No, hang on.
Yeah,
That's a newspaper.
Miss, I hit your bush.
Because it's a paper boy. Missed the front door, hit the bush.
Is it the paper
It's
boy
meant to be a
itself?
big, fat, plumpy, delicious cock, but that's the whole point is it's not, and it's a misdirect. Tell us, Oderick, you're right.
Indeed.
What is...
Rather hot.
No, you shouldn't... What is the clues again?
If I miss... Oh,
Don't encourage him.
Sorry, it's funny to me.
it is funny. If I miss, I hit your bush.
Okay, so...
It's my job to stuff your box.
So I think like 50s America.
Yeah, paper boy up close.
When I come, it's news.
Paper boy.
It's a,
What am I?
it's a paper
It's
boy.
paper boy.
Indubitably! Bingo! Oderick, drunk away!
Bye, Oderick. Honestly, I think...
You know, and then I think, all right, one more Roddy Strong match. Maybe the next one will be the one. Maybe there is still hope.
Look, this is becoming almost, not that we do bits, but that's becoming almost an effective bit because
All right, well,
Oderick
sorry.
or Roderick, I don't want to see either of them anymore. Roderick Strong.
Oh, wait, Oderick Strong popped in. Well,
Ah,
yeah,
yeah,
talking about him. Yeah.
yeah. Like poor Roderick Strong. Like the guy's not over.
Your face has got red marks on it.
Sorry, there needs to be do some
He is
poses for the
simply-
statue.
Got you.
He is simply a not over wrestler. If
Yeah.
you just boil it down to the absolute facts
Yeah.
and take away, social media noise and correct use of TV time and these conversations that we've had, if you boil it down, Roderick Strong is not an over wrestler.
50 of them. Jesus.
Most of them are in the Don Callis family because that's where we go next, seeing Don Callis celebrate his birthday. Of course, we know what that date is, sharing it now, of course. Thank you, Maker, for informing us of that. Not the whole family's there. I mean, there's not a table big enough for it. No Elklon, no Andrade. No idea what's going on with him. No Mark Davis.
It was played down, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Andrade
this,
stuff before.
they sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow.
Whatever's happened there, it can't have been planned for because that's your Kenny Omega match gone from Wrestle Dream, isn't it? That's like, there he is, singles Fued / pay-per-view match.
I think there was never any real plan.
You don't think? No. I feel like Andrade would have been the match, wouldn't it? Like,
No, but Kenny
The match would have been
not in a great enough...
Carl Fletcher.
The Fletcher, that's what would have been the match, but he couldn't work it, apparently.
Takeshita's sent a birthday message.
Fletcher could have killed him in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Build a star. I don't know.
perfect rehab match after Hangman.
Something.
Great shout, yeah.
Something.
But yeah, unfortunately, as Takeshita's giving his birthday message to Don, telly goes off. Okada's turned it off.
I like the idea. I don't think the comedic timing was good here. Like, it's a callback to that genuinely great bit.
Yeah.
Oh no, I pressed the wrong button.
Is that the Acclaimed? Is that when they were feuding with the Acclaimed?
I think so, yeah.
It
was tremendous, that.
They
That was
were
tremendous.
They were in their element there for a minute, weren't they?
For a minute. Yeah, good idea, but I don't think his comedic timing was particularly good.
And then we got the match, the Don Callis family, who was introduced by Don Callis. You got Mark Davis out there, who's got a great ass, of course. Puts Alexander over for breaking Kota Ibushi's leg on Collision. And, of course, making up the trio is, of course, It
is a good theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega, of course. Can Jack Perry and Kenny Omega coexist?
He's been bloody nice.
Like Popeye there with one.
Honestly, not since the kids were little. They've just been like,
Shadow takes us back.
Omega wants Josh Alexander,
Just
obviously.
get used to it now, don't you?
Yeah.
After you've had kids, the trauma's not the right word, but, you know.
does traumatic things to your body.
It does, like that. You just can now never sleep in quite the same way again. It's almost like bad and good. Like, yeah, I've forgotten how to sleep, but at the very least, if I ever have a terrible night's sleep, I'm better equipped than ever to
You can operate on
deal
it.
with
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Curse and a gift.
Yeah. Makes you deeply unsympathetic to people that don't have children when they're tired.
Yeah.
I find, because it's like, you won't believe the days I've lived through on nerfing. On absolutely nerfing.
So Omega wants Alexander, but he immediately obviously tags out to bring Hitch. Omega takes out with a slingshot dive early on in the match. Josh Alexander wants no part of this, as does Don Callis. You just hear this like with the microphone as Don Callis like, get me out of this commentary booth. But with the distractions, all that of Omega, Davis and Hechicero cheap shot him, isolate him, and he finally gets free. And sort of, I guess I'm going to have to. Brings in Jack Perry, but Davis launches Perry to the outside with his shoulder block to take us to a break. When we come back, Perry's trapped in an Alexander ankle lock. Again, Omega, don't make the talk. He does. Didn't want to, the problem was he didn't want to get Eck on his face.
No, he didn't want to do that.
He can finally get his hands on Alexander. It's You Can't Escape. Alexander gets out of 2, though. I was confused, actually, by a bit on commentary that you might be able to help me with, Sidge. So Callis said, this is shades of the Omega of old. Shivani says that's when you disregarded Omega and asked if Callis had a screwdriver in his pocket. But Excalibur said, no, Callis is just happy to see him.
Yeah, to explain that, Excalibur's trivializing the betrayal angle that, to be fair, even Kenny Omega himself has said repeatedly, I'm not interested in revenge. Why then tell this on-off continuous story of you feuding with the Don Callis family if your character has explicitly stated that you have no interest in revenge? I mean, I've got literally no idea what the we are doing here. And it was also sexual, but he was talking about is there an erect penis
Okay.
hiding under your belt, which you think feels awesome.
Oh, he took it in the belt. It feels class, yeah. A V-trigger from Omega on Hechicero. Davis comes in, drops Omega. Luchasaurus hits Davis with a headbutt. Omega wants a V-trigger, but Callis jumps on the apron for distraction. That allows Alexander to drape Omega throat first on the top rope. Davis wants the home run lariat, but Perry takes the bullet for Omega, shoving him out of the way. Davis then hits Omega with Davis hits Omega with an Enzuigiri and a pile driver. Omega just kicks out. Hechicero comes in.
They wouldn't have given that building for one person doing that.
Hechicero
Might have made him feel better for all them bumps.
Yep, gets the cross arm breaker, but Luchasaurus grabs Josh Alexander and choke slams him onto Hechicero. Perry comes in. They put Hechicero on Luchasaurus' shoulders, hit the Doomsday device, get the 1, 2, 3. Post-match, in come the Young Bucks to take out Luchasaurus and Perry with super kicks. Omega can't believe what he's seeing. They want a TK driver, but Omega comes in to put a stop to it, and Luchasaurus takes out the Jacksons with a clothesline. Perry uses his partner to walk along the top rope and hit a moonsault onto the Bucks and the Callis family. And Omega's frustrated, and the Jurassic Express boys stand tall.
First thing I'd like to say is happy birthday, Kenny Omega. You're my favorite wrestler of all time, and I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. Okay? I don't know what this was, and I don't care about it. How can you make me not care about my favorite wrestler? Maybe it's because he's been feuding with the Don Callis family for 2.5 years. Like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
The Callis betrayal happened, well before Blood and Guts to sell that in 2023.
Yeah, like April against Moxley in the cage, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we're coming to 2.5 years of this. 2.5 years of this. 2.5 years. Of
We were there in person when Takeshita joined the Don Callis
yes,
family.
indeed.
2023.
Indeed. Or maybe just become was there a proper family then? Or you aligned with Don Callis anyway? Right, okay. So 2.5 years coming up to this long-running, never-ending program, which you add that on top of the never-ending Young Bucks stuff. This is all part and parcel of that. I don't want to see Kenny Omega, even in his current limited, like constantly uncertain condition, used as a device with which to try and get Jack Perry over. Jack Perry can look after himself, if you ask me. Maybe by going away for a while.
It's just come back.
Not being associated with some of the best wrestlers ever to try and prop him up as has been the case for a long old time. The match, at this point, I'm like, well, there's no heat. And if it's a trios match that ain't really anywhere near as good as some of the trios matches I've been watching every week for years, then there's a certain limit on my investment. There really is. So I like the stuff. Josh Alexander and Omega worked really nicely together. I like a bit of that. Then you get the melodrama with Perry, where he took the bullet for him. And have they just done a speed run of Jack Perry's? Nah, he's actually really a good guy for wheels. So they took the turnbuckle paid off. So Perry comes back. Kenny's like, I'm not sure about you. I remember what you did. And then Perry in the match last week against the Jobbers takes a turnbuckle pad off. Are they trying to speed run a story where it's like, maybe he's a little bit of an asshole still, guys? Oh, no, he's not. He took the bullet for Kenny. Yeah, he's all right. Is that what they've done?
I think so.
It's crap.
Why don't you give Kenny Omega a birthday cake?
Why have you even bothered to turn face? You know what I mean?
Because of the birthday cake with the guts on it before.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
But if it's just going to be, I don't know, man. The match was not even that good. I don't think.
Nah.
It was fine.
Time.
It was fine. Nowhere near like those all-star 8-man trios. How could you forget? There were infinity of them. Jesus. Like, the best ones of those, you were like, all right, I can kind of see why you keep doing this, because that was kind of goated. This is like, just like not that good, and the crowd weren't even that into it. It was nice to see Kenny half nice. But I'm not getting into Kenny again, trust me, it's fine. But what really pissed me off, right? And yes, I understand that Jack Perry had said, I still love the Bucks, but, kind of need my revenge. I don't want to do this, but I kind of have to. I'm a man or whatever, and I have to get my, my pound of flesh or whatever. What really pissed me off at the end is, have you done the post-match?
Yeah.
I forgot. So they do the post-match, and there's this thing where Jack Perry is like about to do something with the Bucks, right? And then, at any point if I'm wrong, please correct me. So I'm going to say something nasty about my favorite on his birthday, right? I'm sorry. So Perry's about to do something to the Bucks. Then Omega motions to Perry like, "What are you going to do that to the Bucks for? Am I right?"
Was it not the Bucks going to do something to Perry, and Kenny came into like, what are you bothering with that for? Come on.
But then wasn't there an inverse of that?
There's the previous one where he got into it and then shoved Omega out of the way and dived onto the Bucks when they first had that confrontation. That was a few weeks back, I remember.
Okay, well, you know what? You give your thoughts, not that you have literally one.
Not one belt to
I'm
belt.
just going to try and just see if I've got a point to make. I don't know. I don't know if I do.
I don't like when people in creative within wrestling think that their thing is really like well structured and layered and detailed, and then plays out with such a lack of focus on screen. I sense, I could be wrong about this, but I sense that Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and Jack Perry and a few other people attached to this storyline feel like everything's cooking. We're right where we got them, right where, when they're arrogant, sneering bastards on WWE Unreal, your Bruce Pritchards and the like, and your Michael Hayes, I don't know, must be me and Gowd. Like, The biggest tag. He's like the 4-3 bird. You know, like they're just so buzzing with themselves. Like
apparently, the headline WWE non-compete clause potentially causing Andrade's AEW absence. Didn't they just?
They said
I love how it's like, nah, he hasn't really got one. I signed with AEW. He's got one actually.
found one.
Found one.
I said on the news that they've just said, no, like we'll go our separate ways. You can do what you want. And then right at the end of the last clause of the contract of like separating it, you can't work Kenny Omega though.
And as well, is this not like a legally like specific thing? Yeah, he's not competing. He's an AEW wrestler. He's just there. Nobody said anything about competing. Nobody wants a spot. Like, yeah, just that idea that they probably think. You just wait until we've got come. This feels so fuzzy and unfocused. And as a fan, you're watching it like, yeah, you can track it if you want to, but it's like this again. And I really hate that feeling because it is WWE that does this more than AEW where they try and manipulate. Yeah, we have a bit of a bit with it, don't we? It's like, see? It's like, no, but like 3 weeks ago, you fucking, like, that didn't make sense anymore. Right? And they're doing that with it. This fuzzy-headed stuff, right? It's like, what? What's he bothered about again? Like, it's just...
Must have misremembered.
When the performers are out there, is what I was saying, Sid, when the performers are out there feeling like, yeah, the story's cooking nice, simmering nicely, and you're watching as a fan going, no, it's pretty unfocused and I don't care. Like,
I don't like it.
It's the worst,
It's
isn't
one
it?
of the worst. I tell you what.
Such an unpleasant feeling.
Watching Kenny Omega with such... I'm sorry, man. Like, limited time left in 2025... in front of a pretty quiet building with not that many people in it. Sort of like without speaking, just using pure body language, convey where am I at with the Young Bucks? It's awful. I can't be arsed with it at all. Just knowing what could be.
Impossible hypothetical. It's, in 2015, and like it's almost maybe seen as a gamble if AJ Styles turns up at the Rumble and gets like nothing. Got that massive reaction, and he was kind of a made man before that match was even over. Like, Kenny Omega gets that, doesn't he? In somewhere else, WWE or New Japan or whatever. Kenny Omega still gets that massive reaction just for turning back up. Like, is a New Japan spot like the smartest salvage job at this point? Like booking him for the Dome? Is it just this like instant aura recovery?
I don't know.
Because it can't be the Fed, obviously, contract's a contract. But like New Japan, January 4th, Is it just that? Is it just as simple as, you know what, well, that's where...
Gabe Kidd at the start of the year, didn't he?
Yeah, like, that's where he looks and is. And that's the only way back. Because you just immediately make the guy look 100 foot tall again, and you just, like, so what? Whatever's happening.
But then he'll just do on Dynamite the next week. Like he did with Brian Cage. And just like, it's Kenny. Well, that's nice.
Aye, true, yeah. It's not a guarantee, is it?
Yeah. It's now time for the one women's match on the show. Really hoping for, Harley Cameron and... Megan Bain to sneak onto the card, but I just made it onto Collision. It was Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue. Commentary was surprised with all the bad blood between Hayter and the Triangle of Madness that they had hammerlocks to start. Don't say it out loud. Hayter batters her with corner punches. Blue goes to the outside. Julia Hart's there. She checks on her. And Hayter gets in Hart's face that allows Blue to hit a thrust kick and roll the dice off the apron to take control as we go to a break. Come back, Hayter, headbutts away free, hits a missile drop kick. There's a big boot, but Blue kicks out. She sidesteps an Insiguri into a stunner, missed a charging knee. Rolled through Hatebreaker, some wild shots. Hatebreaker does connect, though. They're both down. Blue drags Hayter to the floor, jumps off the apron, but gets caught with a Hayter fall-away slam. It's really hard.
That's good.
There's a fireman's carry, neckbreaker back inside and a sliding lariat, but Blue gets out at 2. Hayter wants to finish, but Blue hits a sort of desperation sliced bread for a near fall of her own. She wants Code Blue. There's a lariat, and then the Haterade from Jamie Hayter gets the 1, 2, 3. Post-match, Julia Hart helps Sky Blue up the aisle, and you hear... And then you think, whoa, is the Tron in Australia? No, it's upside down. Because there's Tekla, and she says, congratulations. Well, I'm not applauding you, I'm applauding myself, basically.
1-0.
I've been around the world, and I'm not impressed with you. And the reason I attacked you back in May is because you were there. Wrong place, wrong time sort of thing. She says, my name means chaos, poison, and Saturday, we're going to get toxic to the core and impress me.
It's so weird, this. Like, I will say the match, right? Fair play. They kind of got the crowd like
Decent, wasn't it?
into it,
Yeah.
which is good work. Like, good work, especially. They were giving them nothing. And again, I'm not doing cartwheels if I'm turning up. I'm kind of like, well, I'll still go to the show. It's not been great in recent months, but, I'll still go to the show. If I was an American going to Dynamite,
Pop your Cornette shirt on.
There's a guy in the front row, like, doing that. Like, why have you even turned up? Like, imagine you're still like, and you're not a miserable prick like me who wants it to be better, right? And you're pretty goddamn excited. Dynamite's coming to your town, and like, you're like, oh, you know what ticket should we get? Oh, should we go front row? Like, treat ourselves. Like, we've had a pretty hard time of late.
Can't afford the Fed anymore. Let's get a good ticket.
Why do you have to talk about the Fed when I'm right in the middle of my thing?
It's super expensive. I
I don't give a fuck about how expensive the Fed tickets are. I was in the middle of a little story.
Sorry.
They have to bring in out of nowhere, whatever. Well, honey,
Story, it reminded me of
it's been a hard year, But God damn it. What?
I love you.
You've locked back into character now. I would have never interrupted
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
Honey, look, it's been a difficult year. We're going to foreclose, but we avoided that. God, you just worked so goddamn hard. I was so proud of you. You got the job. Everything's getting back on track. Why the hell can't we go front row tickets? Huh? What is it, the law? Why can't we get front row tickets for Dynamite? You know what? You only live once, huh? For a while there, it was looking like that. It wasn't even going to be once, Well, what kind of life was it? Well, we built everything, We got ourselves back on track. Why can't we just treat ourselves, huh? Yeah, I know we give it to charity some months, but let's have something for us. God damn it. We deserve it. Let's get front row tickets for Dynamite. I know that limey asshole Sidgwick says it's not as good anymore, but I don't care. I've just got a sunnier disposition on. Okay, let's go front row. Front row Dynamite, baby, let's go. We've earned it. Us. And a Jim Cornette t-shirt there who just visibly just doesn't read like, well, imagine you've tried so hard and you've persevered. You've endured this hellhole of a life. Yeah? Front row tickets. Just have a nice time. There's someone who's there actively doesn't want you to have a good time or enjoy the show. What a loser. You love it, don't you? Like, it's a horrible way to live.
Yeah.
A horrible way to go on.
This will show him.
Like, clearly you're not there to have a good time at the All Elite Wrestling show if you're wearing a Jim Cornette t-shirt. I mean, you can't, it's like going to f***ing church in like a black metal top.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, you don't really like this.
It's not all seen this one. is it?
Yeah, exactly. It's more like the last thing you'd be caught dead at. You know what I mean? Imagine just some like edgelord just walking into the church steps and like there's all these like biddies and like grannies who like believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. And like they just want to worship, it's not my kind of thing. But if you believe, fair play, as long as you're not throwing it at my face, and some motherfucker in an obituary top. Front row.
front view.
I hope he botches the sermon, to be honest.
Like
Gallagher walks out. I think we're all right.
Like the Cradle of Filth. What was their famous t-shirt? Jesus is a...
Yeah.
Was that Cradle of Filth?
That was Cradle of Filth, yeah.
Cradle of Filth, like front row. Jesus is a... What are you going to say about this, Esther? Yeah.
Gets the font or whatever it is. Tastes like
Why bother? It's so nasty.
Those parents, by the way, they're like Jessica's parents. And like the last month, the money they did have was to get her a prom dress because she's never been able to go for one. They saved up because she's going with Brad.
Slime was open, but
Slime was
Yeah,
no, Brad's parents are quite well off.
AEW's booking for Slime right now.
Which is good because he still got taken to the prom.
Yeah.
Slime's watching. For the Slimos.
The Tetler promo was bad.
Stop this core thing. Stop it.
It's not over.
Not
It's not over. It's not over. Please stop it. It's kind of excruciating. No one in the audience reacted. And Tekla also again. Why you? You were there. Personal issues draw money. Hey, and I'm walking the aisle. I'll try to do Flair or whatever. And Dusty's like, I hate that guy with all my body. He's a phony. He's Flash and all the rest of it. And Ric Flair. I can't. Can you do a Flair?
only if we're doing it like Ric Flair. Can't do that.
I was born with a golden spoon. I got $6,000. I'm like I'm worse than the guy from. Sorry, Wilbourn. I'm worse than the guy from the Iron Claw. Just bear with me.
Oh, you are. That was impossible.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of impossible.
That made it into the film.
I was born with a golden spoon. Garvin, with that golden retriever you call a woman, you don't know what it takes, pal, to be the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Dusty, the seminal rivalry. Why do you hate Flair so much? You were there. How is that a personal issue that draws money at you just in the way? All right. Oh, I need more than anything, more than life itself, to pay $50 for this pay-per-view to see Tekla versus, goddammit, Jamie Hayter, because she hates her so much because she's just in the way.
So it was, hang on, wait a minute. So this was the literal manifestation of, hate her, I barely know her.
Yes.
And now they're charging him $50 for it. You hit a lot of points there, Sidge. I really am lost in Iron Claw Ric Flair again. Yeah, I've seen them wrestling tips. Hey, yo, I'm Ric Flair. Got it, see you later.
It's in some ways a pretty bad movie because these sort of details don't matter. But it's like, I think, two of the brothers have died at this point. Yeah. And that's when Flair turns up. And
the idea of belt and carry is basically, this is going to make the family in the territory okay. It's like, no, there's shoot tragedy. It's
the Kevin match, innit?
That's the Kevin match.
So Kevin has the match with Flair, and I think there's two brothers at least who have died at this point. And Flair's like, it's like they're in the sportatorium. Goes, got anywhere to drink after the show? It's like, you kind of kickstart the territory with the angle at Star Wars, Flair. You would know where every bar is. Anyway,
and then he gets his obviously zips his robe up and he's like, and that's the bottom line because Ric Flair said so. And he's out with the bar. Hell yeah! Classic Nate.
Right. Quickly, Renee's backstage with Ultimo Monet. That being, of course, Mercedes.
Money.
In terms of belt, she's got 10 of them.
Jesus! There were 10 of them.
She won the
Jesus.
She was in Denmark or something?
Yeah.
Winning a world title, winning the title.
I love her. She's not of this world, this grey AEW world. She looks, I'll build a brand back around her because she's somebody that actually feels massive.
I'll give her something to do at least.
You don't have to go that nuts.
Give her something to do.
Give her a full
She's working. She's not working Wrestle Dream. She's
Nah,
going to be
she's
there.
at the celebration. No, they're going to debut someone like Dakota Kai or something. I
Cool.
mean, that's clearly,
Yeah.
it's like the...
Or Tekla, because she's there as well. You there?
No, Jamie Hayter's just there, so...
Yeah, we'll get her out of the way.
It seems pretty much destined for Mercedes Money. Like, surely she's not just going to go and go, I'm the champion. Well, see you later, guys. It's, you know what I mean? There's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But who's...
Dakota Kai's a good shout, yeah. I love...
Rebecca? What's going on with her?
Who cares?
Here's Nat. Nobody cares.
She doesn't care.
No, this was great. She's got loads of belts. She's going to work your local talent.
She's breaking the TBS record on Friday as well.
Good.
Nice.
She's wrestling Persephone.
Yeah, it is. It's reaching impossible levels how many wrestlers on the show I hate, and Mercedes Money isn't one of them.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's nice to see her.
And she shot on Dave Meltzer, so that was good as well. Called him a mark.
We aggregate all the stuff, bro.
No, but it was fun. We did it in a fun way. It's our lead
It seemed like they were on terms when they were doing it, and
yeah.
then she
someone asked basically, Dave, is Mercedes female wrestler of the year? And I think he said she's in the conversation.
Yeah.
Tony,
Like a really fair response.
EO Sky, I think Suri, was his pick. And she was like, "You're a mark." It's good stuff. Anyway, main event time, thank God. Hangman Page is on commentary. Don't know why. For this trios title match.
You know why? They've already done the face-to-face, and what else do you do? It's wrestling. They used to have ideas, and now they don't.
Sidge had the best one ever yesterday.
Yeah, Hangman Page should have wore like a clear poncho.
That's a great
There
shout.
were two of them. Jesus. We talked about you could have folded in Eddie Kingston to just have a little bit of a shoulder check
Yeah.
with Hanger. And then old AEW would have been like, next month, that's going to kick ass.
We're running out of time, and we're not covering the collision portion of the show. They did this thing where there's backstage, Kingston and Hook, and they talk about, when I was out, we were discussing what we need to do. Well, we're at the phase of that plan. We're going to enter the tag team division or whatever. And Eddie Kingston goes, what's this thing called? And then Hook, like, deadpans because he's really cool and above it all. Tailgate. And then Eddie goes, yeah, when is it again? And then Hook goes, it's Saturday. Oh, yeah, like the song Saturday. Yeah, remember that? Anyway, we'll see you then. And that's the Eddie Kingston and Hook segment. And I'm thinking, leave. If you're that checked out, request, like, actually, what?
Made Dre make a cry laughing.
Never did.
It made me cry at the state of a guy who I was in love with about 2 years ago.
Seems like he hates it.
If you hate it that much, like, leave. Go somewhere else. Or if Tony Khan's, if he's like, oh, I'm a bit disappointed. I'm thrilled to be back and I'm willing to work as hard as possible. I'm Eddie Kingston. Tony Khan should be jailed.
Well, luckily I know a prison have got access to.
Yeah, exactly.
So Tony Khan, like, Pac leaves. What's that? It was Tony Khan.
If Eddie Kingston is genuinely like, oh, God, I don't know why I'm being asked to say these things or do these sort of low stakes things on Collision, I'm willing to go, I'm into this. I've got loads of ideas to present myself as a key player again. And Tony Khan said, no, just do this with Hook. You know what I mean? It's like, it's unacceptable. But I'm fairly certain Eddie Kingston's completely lost his love for it all.
You've articulated the point well, Sidge. However, counter argument, Eddie nonchalantly doing it, perfect. Like, so which is it? Like,
sorry, it's perfect.
It was perfect. It was perfect down to the last detail. Cried all the water out of his body again. So it's pooling around its face. Oh, it's pooling around the emoji's face. The water.
So he's buzzing about this 8-man tag for tailgate brawl. Ooh, how did that get in there?
They need to take the book off him for 6 months.
To answer your question, what did Hangman Page get out of scouting exactly how Samoa Joe stands on the apron for 10 minutes?
No, he called Joe a Christmas ham of a man.
It's a good line.
Yeah, I think I popped Danielson as well. You were trying to fight. That was good.
Look, Hangman Page should have wore the clear poncho with the idea being, you think you're Joe, you're cosplaying as this tough guy who's like the hardest guy alive. Have I ever had a career in my moment worse than this, Joe? Like when you're a commentator doing out. You turn it off and on like a switch. The irony, Joe, is that you go on like you're this big, tough guy, one of the last real people left. You're a faker. You act like it. You are an actor, Samoa Joe. When are you doing your next show again? Twisted Metal. And then Joe's like, I will kill you. And then a brawl ensues. Yeah.
I was into that, Sidge. That was really good.
You know what I mean?
That was really good. I was like, I was
well,
like,
if you like that, what about this? Ready? I'll do one there. Ready? Joe. Joe. More like joke.
that kind of, they're both good, right?
Either or. You got two options there.
Different styles, different needs.
Yes. This match, I couldn't believe it was over when it was over. Why did he even do it?
I mean, it certainly wasn't over, not at any point.
Hit him with a good one on Tuesday when England were battering Latvia. It just takes him saying Latvia, more like Twatvia.
And then we did nations as pussies. Like,
that's good.
It's like, did Liechtenstein.
Oh, good.
You won, I think.
Uzbekistan.
What's that? I can't remember. Czechoslovakia, that was it.
Or he dropped a Democratic Republic of Bongo earlier on.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Sammy Guevara was out there as well. Remember him? What happened in this match? Shibata got hit with corner attacks and a triple drop kick, took us to a break. We come back. Oh yeah, there was that bit with the assisted rolling.
Shibata looked like an arsehole in this match, and I hated it for him.
He smashed his neck against the bottom rope at one point. And they were like, "Oh, don't forget his brain fell out once or whatever." And I was like,
"Yeah, it was a bit fall aparty the match at that point, wasn't it?"
This man is like one of my favorites ever, really.
Yeah.
And for the shortest time, but like the best time. And now he just looked a twat. Like Roosh doing his thing, the scraping. Like at least give him a proper fireback spot after that. And then the bit where he has to stand around like the Mortal Kombat, finish him when Mortos and Drolistico are doing that. Like it took them 5 years to do like the spear.
Yeah.
Like Shibata's like.
Anyway, Joe came in, ran wild. Yeah, he's going to hit a muscle buster on Dralistico. Mortis and Roosh make the save. But then Dralistico jumps off the second rope after the other guys take each other out. Straight into a coquina clutch.
Nothing, match. Nothing.
No.
Well, it's okay because like it's a match. It's a really set up an angle.
And this is what I was talking about. I mentioned it right at the beginning. Post-match, LFI attack the Ops, and in a thing that I thought was a better build to a world title match than the entirety that they've done with Joe and Hangman, Roosh just spat at him. I was like, there you go. I'm more interested in now seeing Roosh.
Yeah.
Like,
Hang on, look super
you're
pissed
pathetic.
off at that.
Yeah.
And he's like, spit at me. All right. Anyway.
Spit at me, a cowboy. You gotta laugh. Because you ain't gonna pop. So you gotta laugh.
Yeah.
Hangman Page got nothing going on.
So Page gets involved, clears the ring, wants a buckshot on Roosh, but Guevara saves him. Joe grabs the AEW title. Ooh.
Where?
Yeah. There isn't one. And goes face to face with Page, shoves it in his chest, but this time the title doesn't drop because obviously that's the amazing origins of this feud. Joe says, you're going to find out Wrestle Dream, and Dynamite ends.
It got what it deserved. This one,
Yeah.
It's bad booking end to end for me. But like I did say, even when I was burying it at week 1, they've got 2 weeks. That's an advantage here. You can't screw this up. They haven't screwed it up, but they haven't enhanced it one bit.
They should have literally built this on tonight. That first confrontation where Joe was like, you're in for a world of deep
Yeah.
And people like
because he was still hit up from the match.
Yeah. Should have done that last night. Or, you could do different ideas as opposed to, he can go on commentary, then do a face-to-face. Contract signing, no. The third idea, it's just Tony Khan needs to genuinely, for the good of all of it, he needs to step away from it for 6 months. He's never going to do it, but he needs to.
The pay-per-view crowd will come up for this more than this TV audience did for Joe. Then
I'll get cold and arsehole, and then the cycle will renew 2 weeks after.
Yeah. We need someone to create a graphic of that.
I did tell you, by the way. I did tell you all. When the Are We Back conversations were happening, I said give it till full gear, because no, it's not. I'm telling you now, it's not. I'm telling you now, it's not.
Also, and this is me saying this is not a Hangman Page problem, but it will become one. Like, this doesn't warrant the main event slot. Moxley and Darby does. It might still go on last, but it doesn't feel like it's not sold a pay-per-view. And me and he said we're talking about the revolution with Cole and Hangman Page, and like we're one pay-per-view cycle from this becoming a Hangman Page problem again. And he gets like a lot, very deservedly so, by the way, of credit for so much of the good things that have happened in this company's history. But within one more pay-per-view cycle, another feud that feels half-baked or feels half-arsed, or like they haven't actually got anyone from this roster of loads of guys that should want it, immediately, like after that, like another cycle like that, immediately people go, oh, right, it's another busted flush for title reign. You can't belt him. You can't really, like, the main character thing is way much more of an idea than something that actually works in execution. But it's yet again of Tony Khan's doing.
The main character of any story, of any other story except for wrestling, ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
or at least if you have a sequel,
Hangman Page truthfully deserves a better medium for how good he is.
I mean, certainly one that will, like, not just, and this is a Tony Khan issue, isn't it? Like, that creates such a steep drop off from the payoff to the new story.
I think it's almost I think, like, again, use examples of, like, what's the best example of a long-term babyface world title reign? That's probably 5 of them, Jesus. Like, I think he's simply too good on the journey. Like, anything relative to it is, like, just nowhere near as good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm trying to be nice about Hangman Page because he's the best.
Let us know your thoughts on AEW Dynamite in the comments or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow all 3 of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at.
I wasn't like this in 2021, like the other grifters, like the grifters. It was clearly amazing once. It's clearly, audibly, visibly not that good anymore. I'm sorry. I cannot tell a lie. I am Sidgwick.
Good bit that, if we did bits.
I missed that. Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. But for now, this has been the Dynamite Review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Come back in 6 months, Tony.